Beautiful friends, this is the Organizer Advisor, here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Today, I'm going to be fulfilling your request, which is more cooking videos with healthy, high-protein foods, low carb, low calorie. We're eating healthier. That's part of our eat clean, and self-care is healthcare. And eating clean is one of the best forms of self-care. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a very low carb, high protein meal that is delicious and fresh and extremely nutritious for you on multiple levels. So go ahead and grab that hydration beverage. Let's have a sip and a sit while you watch another Cook With Me video, Cooking with the Organizer Advisor. Salmon cabbage bowl. Now these are delicious, fresh, and loaded with nutrients. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But before I get started on that, I wanted to put together a high protein dessert that is absolutely delicious, but I'm using monk fruit as a sweetener, so it's lower in sugar. It has a lower glycemic response in your body for those of you who are insulin resistant. And it's loaded with protein, which makes you feel fuller longer, and it helps to stabilize your blood sugar. So I'm going to be making a delicious egg custard with high protein milk with some added cottage cheese. And I'm going to be using my pasture raised eggs, which are absolutely gorgeous. Look at the color of those eggs. I have about 6 eggs. Look at these beautiful shells. My little chicken blessings from my pasture-raised chickens are super nutritious because these chickens forage all day. And I am surrounded by hundreds of acres of crops. I know you've seen them on my photos. The sun rises every morning. Those are the fields that surround my house, and the chickens just free range. They eat bugs, they eat grass, they eat green stuff, which contains all those phytonutrients. And then they bless me with all of that nutrition in these beautiful farm fresh eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 6 eggs into my blender, and I'm going to add about 3/4 of a cup of cottage cheese, and then I'm going to add some high protein milk. So this is less sugar, more protein. So 50% less sugar, 50% more protein. So I'm going to really maximize my protein. Then I'm going to add monk fruit sweetener. This is 0 calorie, so this is a low calorie dessert. Eggs are actually very good for you, and they are like loaded with nutrients. So you're going to get a lot of the benefits from the protein from the eggs and the cottage cheese and the high protein milk without the sugar detriment. Okay, so we're going to get started on this, and then I want to get this into the oven while I make this salmon cabbage bowl. All right, so I have 6 farm fresh eggs. I'm going to toss them right into my blender. And then I'm going to use some low fat cottage cheese, and I'm going to use about 3/4 of a cup. And then I'm going to add a little bit of milk to that. already got the oven preheated. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of milk so this blends, but I don't want to add too much now because it will spill over. Put the top on, and then I am going to now I want to cream that until there are no lumps. Now, you see the bright yellow color? That's from the egg yolks that are loaded with nutrition. So I'm going to pour that into my bowl and make sure that I have all the lumps out from the cottage cheese. But you can see that it really makes a smooth blend. Now, if you wanted to make scrambled eggs out of this, if you wanted to make eggs for your breakfast burritos, that's a great way to add a ton of nutrition. All right, so now I'm going to add my milk. And I'm going to add about a cup. Now I've added some already just to make the blending process smoother. So I'm going to, not quite a cup. Just put that in there. And now I'm going to add a little bit of monk fruit. Now you can add allulose to this as well, which is really good. It's actually really good for you. But I'm going to add monk fruit. So now I'm going to add some monk fruit, but since I just opened this, I'm going to write the date that I opened it so I know and I can use it while it is fresh. So this is 2/1/25. Here we go. It's always a good reference when you're cooking with fresh foods. All right, so I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup. I don't like my custards too sweet. And this is, to me, it has more sweet taste than sugar. So I'm only gonna add about 1/4 of a cup, and then I'm gonna whisk that to make sure it's all dissolved. So I'm going to whisk this until it's all dissolved. This is going to be a very light and fluffy dessert. And it's healthy, it's low carb, low sugar, and I can't say it's low fat, but it does have a lot of protein. Now, if you wanted to, you could use low-fat milk and make your custard low-fat. All right, so now I'm just going to pour it into the bowl. I'm going to get all that yummy goodness out of there. Okay. And now I'm going to put this into a water bath here. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven first so I don't spill. I don't want to try and use 2 liquids. All right, and that's going to go right in there. Okay. I'm going to bake that until it's set in the center. All right, so let me do a quick cleanup and then we'll get started on this salmon cabbage bowl. So the first thing I'm going to do for this salmon cabbage bowl is I'm going to prepare my cabbage. Now, a lot of people saute their cabbage for the salmon bowls. I'm just going to chop mine a little finer, and then I'm going to just use it raw. I just feel like that's going to be the best, freshest taste, and it is going to give it that magnificent crunch. So I'm just going to go ahead and slice off a little bit of this. Here. And I'm going to slice it really fine because I don't want a lot of thickness. I want a lot of crunch, but I want it to be where I can taste how fresh it is. so I have all of this nice cabbage, and it's got that perfect texture. It's not too thick, so it's not going to be chewy, and it's going to have that nice crisp. So I'm going to toss that into this bowl. Now, I'm not going to layer too much cabbage in, because then you're just going to be eating all cabbage, and you're not going to eat as much of the salmon. Now, I'm not doing rice in this salmon bowl because we're doing a low carb, so I want to make sure that I'm not adding a whole lot of carbohydrates to a very fresh dish when I'm trying to go low carb, high protein. Okay, so now I'm going to slice some onions, and I'm going to slice these julienne so that I can get a really nice burst of flavor without overpowering the salmon. So I'll start. Next, I'm going to move on to the peppers, and I'm going to julienne them as well. I want it to all be consistent so you get about the same amount of flavor, and all of these items that I'm not using are going to go into the chicken yard, because my chickens absolutely love all of the scraps from my cooking. Okay, so I have everything prepped for my salmon cabbage bowls. This beautiful cabbage, fresh, and I've chopped it two different ways. I've chopped it kind of the long, crunchy way, but then I also have some smaller chops, so you don't always have to kind of try and negotiate all of that in one direction to get it in your mouth. I also have some onions that have been julienned. I have some peppers. I have red, orange, and yellow bell peppers. I have some delicious baby bella mushrooms prepped. I have sliced some chunks of fresh pineapple. Smells so good. And I have finely chopped some fresh ginger. Is your mouth watering yet? Now I'm going to prepare the salmon, and then I'm going to saute these vegetables, all except the cabbage, and then I'll finish with the salmon. Okay, so before I go too much further, I need to check the custard. It's so beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. All right, so I'm going to give it a little squirt. I'm going to give the salmon a little squirt of some fresh lemon juice, and this is just going to brighten the flavor. And it's going to have that really fresh, citrusy, awake flavor, and that's going to coordinate well with the freshness of the pineapple. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be using some Celtic salt. This is salt that is mined directly from the earth, and it has all those trace minerals in it. And for people in my age category, 50 plus, okay, all right, 60 plus, these trace minerals are so important. Plus, it's kind of got a little more rough texture. It's not a really fine salt, so I'm going to get a burst of flavor plus all those trace minerals. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar. This was the brown sugar I used for the cinnamon rolls, so you can see when I opened it. And I like to use the broccoli or the asparagus rubber bands to keep all of my little containers sealed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle some of this on the top of the salmon. It's not going to take much because I don't want to add too much sugar to this low carb dinner. But I do want to have that really caramelized taste with my salmon. Okay, so that's all I'm going to add. Put that back in there. Ready to use. on another baking occasion. Okay, so now I'm going to add just a touch of this balsamic glaze, and I'm going to spread that around. I'm going to use my hands, but I love this because it has that rich flavor, that it adds such a dimension, because it doesn't have a lot of the balsamic vinegar flavor. That has all kind of become a little more caramelized, so I'm just going to spread this into the top of the salmon. Look at how yummy that looks. So now I'm just massaging it into the salmon. Oh my God, that's delicious. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up, and then I'm going to start sauteing all of these prepped vegetables. But first, I am going to go visit my chickens with all these yummy scraps from the kitchen, because they're going to give this back to me in nutritional blessings known as farm fresh eggs. And now I'm going to add the pineapple and the mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms. I think I'm just going to use half of that. This is the earthy taste of the mushrooms. It's going to really counterbalance the really fresh, acidic taste of the pineapple. This is almost ready, and then I will plate this into here, and then I'll start with the salmon. Oh, I can smell the ginger. Okay, now I'm going to remove this, add just a little bit of lemon. Doesn't that look beautiful? Now, remember, it's going to have that cilantro Greek yogurt dressing, so you're going to have that green to contrast all these yellow and red flavors. So that's really going to brighten up this dish, and it's going to go really well with the salmon. Oh, get in there, little fella. So while I'm letting this cool down a little bit, you can see it's still a little hot. I am going to get my cilantro pesto with the Greek yogurt going. Now, my grocery store had cilantro that was looking a little wilty, so they deep discounted it. So I brought it home, revived it by cutting off the ends and sticking it in some water, and then I blended it with some olive oil, and then froze it in these ice cubes. So this is olive oil with cilantro. So I'm going to take a couple of these out, and I'm going to go ahead and pop those in the microwave just to get them soft, so I can blend them with the Greek yogurt to make the dressing for this salmon cabbage bowl. Go ahead and make the dressing. This is just plain Greek yogurt with the cilantro that I had blended and frozen with olive oil. So now I have this beautiful healthy dressing to go on my salmon salad bowl. All right, so this is about ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put in some more avocado oil. And then I'm gonna add my salmon. Now, you don't wanna overcook salmon, but you wanna make sure it's cooked through. So it's going to be about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. These are not hugely thick pieces of salmon, so you don't want it to be, and I'm gonna do skin side down first. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting my bowl ready for the salmon. So now I have my cabbage. I'm going to add my vegetables. They're still warm. Gonna add a little touch of salt. While my salmon's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and slice my avocado and get that ready for the very top. Okay, so there is my salmon, and now I'm going to drizzle a little bit of the dressing. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of this beautiful cilantro Greek yogurt dressing. And then I'm going to top with some fresh avocado. A little bit of Celtic salt. And there you have it. First, I'm going to taste the salmon. It's so juicy and moist and flavorful. It just flakes off beautifully. Now I'm going to get some of the cabbage and vegetables. I'm going to get a mouthful of that cabbage. It's just better than I expected it would be. The peppers and the onions, absolutely perfect. A little bite of ginger. Okay, I could eat this for a long time. It's so good. Now I want to check my custard. Oh, nice and set. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that, beautiful. Still a little jiggly, but it will firm up as it cools. This is going to be so smooth and creamy and just a little bit of sweetness, but it's loaded with protein. All right, there you have it. That is my Cook With Me video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed fixing this for you. I love sharing this time with you in my little cottage kitchen. So I look forward to doing this again with you. So stay tuned. Check out some of my other videos and have a wonderful day. This is the Organizer Advisor, wishing you health, happiness, and harmony. Bye for now. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you how the lovely custard came out. You can see the rich color from those farm fresh eggs. Warm, but it's not hot. Not too sweet, nice and fluffy, and very smooth. So, high protein, sweet dessert with no sugar. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you would like more support, ideas, guidance, frameworks, and some positive, uplifting suggestions, please check out some of my other videos. You can activate your subscription on my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post newer content. But those playlists are a framework for you to organize all aspects of your life to enhance your happiness and transform the life that you're living. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, my dear friends, I hope you have a wonderful day.